The theme of the conference, Rail, the Core of Integrated Transport, will highlight the successful role of rail in integrated transport systems in both urban travel and freight context. As well, it seeks to put the spotlight on freight and the role of rail as an integral and integrated component of the freight and export supply chain. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to officially open the Core 2008 conference with its theme, Rail, the Core of Integrated Transport, and wish you all well in your deliberations. Thank you.
If you can make public transport and rail, passenger rail work in Western Australia and Perth in particular, you can make it work anywhere, because certainly by any means, by any measure, the car is king in Perth. It was a railway that we had to not just compete with the motor car, we needed to in fact beat the motor car. The whole of Perth's public transport system is based on fast rail spines with good feeder bus services. I think never before over the last century have we seen greater and more wonderful opportunities for railways. We need to make sure we can deliver. Thank you.
You must have an integrated transport system. Rapid corridors that take you to a dispatch and receipt area for rail, linked very well to local community, through bus, through guided bus, etc. And as you make your plans going forward, it may start with bus, but we know it will migrate onto some form of light transport, then heavy transport, etc. Have those forward plans, have that 40-year vision in mind so that you can optimize the expenditure, whether that's by private companies that you may invite in, or whether that's by the state, or whether it's by your own tax dollars that you put into it.
We run a network of 11 mines, 3 ports, 2 at Dampier and 1 at Cape Lambert, and those mines and ports are linked by one of the largest privately owned heavy haul railways in the world. It is important to understand that the movement of iron ore in the Pilbara is a logistics business. The railway has one focus, and it is not just to optimise the railway. It is to make sure that we have the right product on the right stockpile at the port to satisfy the ship coming over the horizon. We run the system of mine, rail and port as a completely integrated system, and we make trade-offs to optimise the whole system, not the individual parts. We have a defined strategy for taking our operations from 220 million tonnes next year through to 320 million tonnes in 5 or 6 years' time. That includes adding another port at Cape Lambert with the capacity for 100 million tonnes. It includes adding significant mine infrastructure, significant rail infrastructure, and all the supporting infrastructure of water, power, towns, communities and services. It is a very large undertaking in the Pilbara and just continues our confidence in the iron ore boom as it stands at the moment.
The port of Dalrymple Bay unfortunately enjoyed the title of the worst port in the world in terms of shipping queues, delays and so forth. I'm pleased to say that's improved immensely since that title was given to it. At the beginning of this year we had around 45 vessels standing off the port in the queue. This morning we've got 11, which is below the optimum number that we'd prefer to have. There are 22 coal mines, 9 mining companies, 19 load points. The number of coal products has significantly increased. There are now 95, not 55. We have at the moment only one above rail operator, QR National. Shortly though there'll be a second. PN will start operations in March, April of 2009. To put those things together, we considered that if we were going to operate in this sort of fragmented approach, we had to look like we were one unit. And to look like one unit, we had to get all those people into one location. Now this hasn't necessarily been an easy task, so we're looking at a strategy that provides transparency and alignment, including day of operation, operational planning, tactical planning, working out how we can align maintenance activities and those sorts of things. Medium-term planning, as the chain is going to expand or change its mode of operation or its direction or include some other aspects of it, through to 10 years out master planning. The answer for the Northern Bowen Basin is clearly the establishment of this co-located management centre, and we'll see dramatic increases of the numbers that I showed you in the very near future.
We, the rail industry, have a significant challenge, not only to maintain our market shares, but also an opportunity to get a bigger slice of the ever-growing transport pie. Our challenge is to ensure that we stay relevant and we provide seamless interfaces with other modes and provide solutions that meet customer needs. We need to actively participate in the logistics market and work with customers to develop solutions that are market responsive, innovative, and actually challenge the status quo. And Rio Tinto's challenging the status quo of train drivers and automated trains is a very good example of that. We need to get together with road and sea, if necessary, to develop solutions which actually increase the size of our logistics pie and we don't end up fighting over the same bone.